Good afternoon and welcome to the Leaders Only Season 5, Episode 30, uh, digital show and podcast. I am Samaj,
And I'm Kendall.
and we're brought to you today by Would Have Changed Mentoring and Tone Drone. Today, we'll be following up on previously discussed stories and discussing a couple of recent events. Please invite your friends to a watch party, subscribe to our channel, like it, comment, share it, hit the bell, all the things that keep us in the algorithm, as well as if you're watching the show later on, you could put hashtag replay and just let us know that you were here. How you feeling today, bro?
Oh man, I can't but complain, man. Just been relaxing, man. Taking it easy today. Uh, Chilling, man. Ready to kick it off. Another show, another day. Every day above
Yes.
water is great. How you?
I'm good, man. Just leaving the farmer's market. Be glad when we get this daggone connection together, man. That way I could be in a good space. I'm in the car, in the truck today, in the work van.
Okay.
Um, but we just had a good turnout at the farmer's market. Ready for this weather to get right. 1 minute is warm, next minute it's 49 degrees out. So
Yeah.
we
It's
just
up and
patiently
down out
waiting.
here. It's been raining a lot. It's been
Hmm.
off and on down here. It's been raining a lot though. So yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of dig you on that, man. I feel
yeah,
you.
it's
But
been the same for us.
glad
We
to
need
hear the
that's
success. It's always good to hear that you had this. Y'all had another successful at the market. That's a blessing. Uh,
yes,
I just got
indeed.
my sea moss from you. I took the girls down to uh Wet and Wild last week in Charlotte, so that was cool. Um, Leah and so that was cool. It was tiring, but it was cool though. So
Yes,
everything
indeed.
was great.
Always
Great.
get out there, ready to get out there in
But
the water
yeah.
myself.
So yeah. I remember you said you were trying to hit the pool, man. They messed your day over the rain, man.
Yeah, man. But it's all good, man. We waiting for that weather. We gonna jump into it soon. Once it get warm, I'll definitely be out there.
Yes, sir, man. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. I'll kick off with the first story, man. In the in the US, June is recognized as both mental health awareness month and Alzheimer's brain awareness month. It's also included National Aphasia Awareness Month and PTSD. If you don't know what aphasia is, it's a language disorder where it makes it hard for people to communicate what they're trying to say to people. So that's what that is. Men's Mental Health Awareness Month aims to raise awareness about the unique mental health challenges faced by men and encourage open conversation about their well-being. Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month focus on raising awareness about all excuse me, Alzheimer's disease, other dismantles, encouraging conversation about brain health and the importance of early detection and prevention. We're following up. So we're gonna go ahead and kick it off like that. And I can tell you that I struggle with a couple of these things. One is PTSD. I struggle with that a little bit. I went through a situation in a time in my life where it was dark. I was in a environment where it was kind of ruthless. It was kind of dangerous, but also it was a kind of learning experience. So it was like a up and roller coaster type of thing, and that's one of the things that PTSD is for. Like it's like a person that struggled with up and down and don't know how to balance sometimes. Um, I'm glad that I went through my therapy. I still go through therapy. I still need it at times. But I'm able to recognize my triggers. I'm not acting like I'm perfect because sometimes I struggle with that. So I'm blessed to be in this situation because it also helped me open up um and communicate my situation and what I struggle with. So it's very important. These awarenesses are very important to highlight, especially for men, because most men hide and let things build up or try to boast like they're super tough. But that's what our stigma is. But I'm blessed to be able to open up and speak. confidently about what I struggle with. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's it shouldn't just be a month. So it's good that they honor it and that they bring the light to it. But you know how we feel as far as mental health, men's, women's, children's, elders. Your mental health is the most important. Because if your mental is not right, everything else is collapsing with it. As you said, most men don't speak up. They suffer in
Mhm.
silence. You know what I mean? So we definitely advocating for, first and foremost, reach out to people that you may know or that you feel comfortable with. But if not them, then to always, get outside help. It doesn't have to be formal therapy. It could be working out groups. It could be peer support groups. It could be counseling, volunteering, all the things that help. Like you said, with PTSD, I know a lot of times when it comes to PTSD, triggers, things that trigger
Mhm.
you, situations that trigger you, bring that back up. So we definitely advocate for people healing, going through it, getting the help. Don't continue to run from it. Just go through it slowly, however, whatever speed you need to. But you have to get over it so you don't keep replaying it. So you can get to the next thing in your life that you either have to prepare for or the next thing that you have to go through and heal from. Another thing is the Alzheimer's, brain awareness, and the dementias. I know our father suffered from uh, early signs of dementia.
Mhm.
It has actually been getting better. The diet changed really helped him. So we encourage people to change their diet to cut back, even if you don't want to be plant based. If you love yourself and you love your need for meat or things of that nature, then go a step beyond. Go to the farmers markets, go find a butcher, do the things that are correct. Don't over consume it to where
Right.
it's affecting you. I know sugar has become one of the main things of knowledge, but it's been happening forever. But it's one of the main things that eat at our brain. So a lot of our brain damage and a lot of our brain issues come from sugar in the brain, especially when we were young. When we were young, and then it continues to go from the ADHD and the ADDs. They turn into these things. Also, not reading. Not exercising your brain. Your brain is a muscle. So you have to continue to work it. Give it brain food, but you also have to give it knowledge. You have to exercise it. I do remember seeing, be it either it was a book or it was online, but they said if you right-handed, write with your left hand, and that
Yeah.
helps you with your memory. You know what I'm saying? It helps you
Yeah.
with your brain function. Also, playing little games. Back in the day, we used to play games and say a story in somebody's ear, and it will go around and just pass the story around. But those little games, they do help, and you don't have to do it with big groups of people, but they do help with your memory. And I just like I said, I just advocate for men in general to eat better, but then our people in its entirety fasting. It helps things like lion's mane, things like ginkgo biloba, things like sarsaparilla. I seen that today. Ali and I, when I was looking in one of the books that we have, it said that sarsaparilla was good for PTSD. So getting knowledge on the herbs, getting with somebody who's in the herbal world, in the holistic world. As our information is at the bottom of the screen. It's always flashing by. So always here at
Yeah.
mentalhealthchef.com to help you with those things. But if we know that they're bringing awareness to it, then we know that it's big. It's something that the numbers are big. So what we do at a younger age, in our 20s, 30s, 40s, we have to be proactive. You know what I mean? So do the things, that can help you alleviate and bypass, getting Alzheimer's and dementia. And if you're already in a state where you either have those or you have PTSD, depression, or any of those things, I would just say, anywhere in your mental, take your time, fall in love with yourself. no matter how many times you have to do it over, because a lot of these things you're just putting a lot more pressure on yourself. We put more pressure on the problem than the problem really is. So one step at a time, face it, get through it, stop replaying it in your own mind. That's my advice to myself that worked for me. So I just pray that it helps somebody out there.
Yes, sir, man. Man, totally can. I totally agree, man. So we're following up with updates in two stories previously covered. Bro, go ahead and tell us about the Carmelo story.
Yeah, man, Carmelo Anthony, the young man that was out in Texas, a high school student who is black, so-called black that they say. The young man who stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf, who is white that they say, Caucasian, at a track meet, was charged with first-degree murder. And I I remember covering this story when it was fresh, and we said we were waiting, just for more evidence, more things to come out. I didn't. I still haven't seen like videos of people being right next to him, which is kind of odd to me. Maybe they saving it for trial, but I knew it. I knew when they said something about a knife, him going to his bag. That was the main problem. It's never a problem in defending yourself. Um, I'm never a fan of bullying, but you should not take somebody's life. That should not be your first step. You know what I mean? You should go tell your parents. Your parents should tell the school, should tell the teachers, should tell the track coaches, because then if you do defend yourself, there's a paper trail. You know what I'm saying? There's something to say that you've been bothered, that you have on record. You know what I mean? Um, it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. So I wasn't I wasn't shocked now that he's been charged. It's just now waiting to see if he's going to be convicted. Um, as we did when we covered it, I'm just sending my heart out to both sides. The
Yeah,
mother, the father, and the brother of Metcalf family, all of them and his friends, and then the mother, father, family, brothers, sisters, and of the young man Carmelo Anthony, because he's still going to need the support. They all going to need support. I just pray that somewhere down the line that these two families can come together. The parents, that it could start there, but it can be a teachable moment for other high school athletes and other families, of high school athletes, because one minute you can be a rival, the next year you can be in college being teammates. Don't let this thing go further than it needs to go. It's already it feels like a crisis on our youth. You know what I mean? It's already a violence crisis, it seems. So we got to keep that stuff out of things as far as on school grounds and out of our sports. Because once it gets from there, there's no safe haven. Sports used to be a safe haven. And I pray that they keep it that way. Other than that, whatever happens, whatever the conviction is, if he's innocent, if he's guilty, um, I just pray that everybody uses it as a teachable moment, and I pray that their testimony can help somebody one day. Anything on that story
yeah,
from you?
yeah, man. I just want to hit a couple of points. One, just piggybacking off what you said. It's definitely a teachable moment, and we also want to could send our condolences out, but just like you, I wasn't shocked. But then also just coming from the law standpoint of it, and me going through the situation, I went, I understand law. Um, it was premeditated. Um,
Hmm.
and that's just here and day. It was, and it's messed up that it was what it was. But they always catch the person that retaliates. Whether he was getting bullied or not, he didn't bring it to nobody's awareness. Just like you said, bro, all you got to do is tell one person, tell two person, that person's going to tell somebody, and then you have a paper trail. Then you have awareness. Then these people are aware when you act out. They'll know where it came from. But going by law, man, it's premeditated. You went there with the intention to do something when you carried your knife. Um,
Hmm.
so that's where I leave it at, man. I send my condolences out, wish both families the best, and hopefully they get the help that they're supposed to get. But other than that, man, I'm going to go ahead and tap into this other story about Hannah G. Cobb, who is so-called white Caucasian, who was arrested. February 25th on a charge of a felony involuntary manslaughter in connection with the felony shooting of her boyfriend, Telvin Osborne, who is so called black, in a Burt County fatal shooting, won't be facing any charges. A grand jury has decided. District Attorney Jared Williams said that a grand jury returned a no bill. The case was present to a grand jury on April 24th, but the grand jury decided not to pursue formal charges. Now, my thoughts is it's crazy because she killed somebody. And for her to walk scot free, it don't make no sense to me. Uh, they wonder why everything gets the the uh narrative of racial. It's not fair. If you're going by law, uh, I don't think that was fair. So, that's where I'm gonna leave that at, bro. For real, because it really just don't make no sense. Like this young man, because he's black, he got a different charge. But by law, like I said, his was premeditated. Who's to say hers wasn't? So that's where I leave that one at.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, like I said, I just need to see evidence. Like, I would wonder what was presented to them, because if it's domestic violence, bro, is the law is messed up in general. Because
Hmm.
so many things there need to be classes when it comes to domestic violence too. Because when you got it on your jacket, it every situation you didn't just beat and punch on that woman. You know what I'm saying? But she could use that, you know what I mean? Like you said, it could be premeditated into where she knew, like, we gonna go out this night, you know what I mean? I could even start the argument, you know what I mean? Or it could just be routine to where if that happens again, I'm gonna do this. So that sucks. The only thing I don't want to do is to lack compassion. If everything played out the way, there's just so much lacking in the story to me towards what that decision was. Because I remember even when we reported the story the first time around, we were waiting on more details, to figure out. We knew they went out, but did he hit her or what happened? What caused her to get a firearm and then brandish it? Then use it. That meant something. So that's
Hmm.
that's my only thing. I mean, not to be funny, but when these races, if the when you combine races, you got to make sure that the person that you're dealing with understands your background and your where you come from. Because if they're not familiar with it, it's sad to say, but through my experience in America, on both sides and all sides, everybody has a bit of racism or prejudice in them. You know what I mean? So if they don't identify with you already, and you meeting a person who's been taught a certain way all their life, and they're going against it, because maybe they were lusting, or who knows, something sexual, uh, you got to be careful. You know what I mean? We've seen movies like Get Out. There is, you know what I mean? This is just the facts. You got to make sure that even though you're dealing with a different race, that y'all at least have cultural similarities. You know what I mean? That y'all can identify with, or it's just going to be like tug of war, because it's like oil and water. It just doesn't mix. In this case, I just pray that somebody else looks into it. You know what I mean? Because from the information that I've gotten, it just wasn't enough for her to just walk off scot free. And then, like you said, we look at Carmelo Anthony. I mean, uh, there's no secret. The law wasn't designed for us. You know what I mean? It wasn't. It was designed around our ignorance. But even to back in the day, where the police officer was at first just on the plantation to keep us from running, and most of the time it looked like us, and then they were slave catchers. So
Hmm.
I just pray somebody dig into it. I just pray all the stuff comes out. I still haven't seen much that says she was beaten or anything like that. So that's the sad
Right,
part. In the Carmelo case, I just wish a video come out, because you see anywhere you somewhere, every time you somewhere, or when you go out, it's like, yo, there's phones everywhere. Then all of a sudden,
right.
then there's no video in 2025 is just, it's mind boggling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, man, I'm just praying for society. I'm gonna continue to pray for it because we know that there's majority of people running around here with mental health issues, because majority of the people here eat on a traditional American diet. So we don't have to argue no more. We don't have to go back and forth on, is meat bad, or is candy bad, or is this bad, or is this better for you. It was designed, you know what I mean? Like I said, just like hip hop was designed um, to help us, rap was designed as a war weapon. You know what I mean? Same thing with the food. At one point in time, we were growing our own. We had land. It was designed to heal us. It was food, heal thyself, healthy self. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a war weapon. Most of it is processed. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's not even a joke no more. The food not even coming from the farm. It's coming. They 3D printing meat. So this is a reflection of what's going on, and there are no rights or wrongs in our world because we ain't judges. You know what I mean? Only thing we can do is say, where's the evidence, so we can give a complete assessment. But the number one judge is going to be karma, the universe, God, however you want to look at it. Nothing,
Fact.
nothing goes unscathed. So if you think you
Yes.
got off, you know what I mean, because your cousin's a judge, your auntie worked down
Yeah.
at such and such, but it's okay. The universal law, that's on both stories. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
there's a
Right.
lot of stuff that goes on, and when you put your life in the hands of man, anything can happen. But when you put your life in the hands of the universe and the Most High and all of these things, the truth gonna play it's gonna run its course regardless. So I just pray everybody gets some help. You know, for those who lost their life, though, ain't no coming back. And if that brother was
Right.
innocent, you know what I mean? If that brother was innocent, I just pray that his justice gets served, that truth comes out. But for
Yes.
other brothers, man, be careful. You know, this don't even matter what race your lady is, and on both sides, in any relationships, if you cannot resolve the issue without putting your hands on each other, and then even further going to get a weapon, you don't need to be in a relationship. Period. You need to date yourself and figure it out. That's
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's just my thought. Just stop putting other people in harm's way because you're not mentally there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
That's
putting you because our lives are one time things. And you get together, and if you're not there and you're not mentally there and you don't know and all this stuff, why mess up somebody else's life? Just stay to yourself. And then everybody still has their life. You know what I mean? Everybody can figure it out. But mental health assessments, that's why it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Everybody, man, get some help. You know what I mean? Even if mental awareness is to, go with, so you be aware of your state. Mental illness means you're mentally sick. I don't believe everyone is mentally sick, but I do believe that there is, some mental health disparities. I'll say that.
mm, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. I'm glad you touched on that, man. Go ahead and dive into the next one, bro.
Yeah, okay. So caught on camera, man. Mom boards a North Carolina school bus and yells racial slurs. Video circulating online, which shows Samantha Spoor, a Currituck County parent, boarding a school bus and shooting explicitives at and racial slurs and threatening the students. So she was shouting these explicit slurs at students on the bus. Spores did not want to go on camera, but her son said a Moyoc middle school student has been bullied repeatedly, and that's what pushed her to board the bus and protect him. Let's watch this video, and we'll come back and give you our thoughts.
Yes, sir.
Currituck County School says it is investigating an incident on a school bus. The district says a woman climbed on board a bus and started swearing.
I know it's good. Sit the down. Ain't none of y'all gonna do report it for your
This happened yesterday. A 10 on your side viewer sent us this video of the incident, which we had to blur and censor. School officials say 35-year-old Samantha Spoor was not authorized to be on the bus. She's facing 3 misdemeanor charges, including trespassing. School officials sent 10 on Your Side a statement that said this type of behavior is unacceptable and furthermore is prohibited by law. We are fully cooperating with the investigation and reviewing our transportation procedure.
Yes, indeed. So first and foremost, at least first off, we know why she did it. I'm not gonna say that she crazy or nothing like that, because we've seen tons of people get riled up and get worked up at the hands of their children or children they care about. What I will say is she doesn't have emotional intelligence. She doesn't have self-control. I will say that she is a racist. You know what I mean? But what I will not do is I won't act like my mom ain't jumped out there before. You know what I mean? My mom will go anywhere to defend her children. Not to say that it's right. She's wrong. The school should possibly suspend not only her, but maybe the school needs to suspend her child from that bus, just to give it the proper repercussions that it deserves. I mean, your child didn't do anything, but they are an extension of you. And if anything does happen to the child, it's going to keep bringing you around. So you might need to exclude that. But when there's stuff going on like this, I don't know why don't nobody want to report it to the school, call a meeting, get the other side, the parent involved, because most of the time when stuff like this happens, let's stop forgetting that we were children. You know what I mean? You got into it earlier on the bus or earlier in the hallway. Your mom and dad ain't know about it. You know what I'm saying? So the other child's parents probably don't even know that they're bullying anybody. Why not? Hey, excuse me, Miss Denise, if this is the just the name of the principal, I want to call a meeting. You know what I mean? I need such and such parent. Tell your child to give you the other student's name or who's doing the bullying, and I need Sarah Jacobs or Michael Dennis parents in a meeting ASAP. And if I don't get that meeting, I'm gonna present it to you in a writing form. So I'm gonna send you an email as well. I'm gonna get my lawyer involved on the next stance. You know what I mean? And this is proper protocol. See, in our way and in a lower vibrational way, they always taught you go beat them up, go stand on business. And standing on business would be the worst case, because if you really standing on business, then you will be doing business. It's black and white. Business is most time black and white, but our thing is standing on violence. That's literally what you're doing. And in this case, you're doing it in abusive wordplay. So you're doing it with words. So you verbally doing it, but it's still an act of domestic violence. You know what I mean? This is still your community. These little kids are in your community. Pretty sure you pass their parents in passing most time. This is why children act this way. And this is what adults need to stop acting like this don't happen on the regular. This is exactly why children act the way they do, because adults still act this way. The adults don't have no emotional control, and they don't have no self-control. That's it. It's okay to be, who's bullying my child? First thing you're going to do is be upset. You know what I mean? We dealing with this right now. You know what I mean? We about to try to get into working to help a young man who's being bullied. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I told the parent, hey, get this documented. Make sure you talk to the principal, guidance counselor, then call a meeting. Call a meeting with the other kids' parents, because they can rectify this where you can't. You going to put your hands on her, you going to threaten, you going to get outside of yourself, and they could have been like, you doing what? Hold on, because you don't know how somebody's house is structured. They could have good discipline on their child. Children act out all day. We done seen kids come from 2-parent households, you know what I mean, be wealthy, you know what I'm saying, got a couple dollars and everything, and they still want to act out at the hands of being cool to their peers. You know what I mean? Whatever the peer group is doing, that's what the child is doing. So ultimately, in my opinion, she's definitely wrong. She's definitely need to go on a detox. I mean, it's in her body. This is not even being funny. When I seen her body, it didn't shock me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I know she's taken in a traditional American diet. And when you're eating that crap, it's poison running all through your body, your mind. You know what I mean? So you don't have no control. We got to get control, man. We have to get control. And to the bullies out there, your day comes, man. You know what I'm saying? All bullies, your day comes. You know what I mean? That's why it's not cool to bully somebody, because what if that parent goes a step further and comes on the bus with a weapon, and now they, you know what I mean? It can go that
Yeah.
far. So involve parents, though. Always involve parents of both sides. Involve the school district, the superintendent, the police, your lawyer, whomever, whatever you have to do. But that's really caring for your child. It's not going to threaten some other children.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That was like a good sum up, man. Cause basically, you know, once you do something, it's over with. You know, you can't take it back. Um,
Mhm.
it's always good to communicate and let it be known what we're going through. But I could just clearly see like this is how she reacts towards anybody. Like she's
Mhm.
used to snapping out, so I wouldn't. She don't care if it's a child or adult. You could tell this is her natural behavior. This is how she
Mhm.
responds to situations. That's and we preach that nonstop. That this the childish behaviors of children having children. You know, she still has a child
Mhm.
mind state, ignorant mind state. And it goes to show that it's not about the color that you are; it's about the behavior. You know, she clearly I see Afro American. I mean, I see so-called Afro Americans and blacks do the same type of behavior. Mexicans, I see them to do this. Hispanics, I see them do the same type of behavior. I see all races do the same type of behavior. So it's all a mental thing. You know, she got a couple mental health issues. Um, and
Mhm.
you never know what drug she on. You never know what type of situation she's on. Whether it be prescribed or illegal, or whether it be alcohol, Um, but all these are regular behaviors that she usually do, so it didn't shock me. Of course, she's saying racist slurs, so it's evident that she got a little bit of racist in her. So I totally agree with you, man. Totally agree.
Yeah, man. That's definitely the South for you. You know what I mean? And for her, you know what I mean. Like I said, don't no energy go without receiving that energy that you putting out. So she not gonna be happy. Somebody's gonna punch her in her face. You know, that's just,
Yeah.
you're gonna meet somebody with the same energy, and they'll handle
Mm-hmm.
that. You know
And
what
they're
I'm
gonna
saying?
be
My
the
thing is,
same. They're gonna be the
yeah, my
same thing
thing
you
is
asked.
get help beforehand, but this is a clear depiction before we move forward that she was brought
Mhm.
up in a household. This is learned behavior. It's just, if you don't grow up, that's why we're not going to continue to argue with adults, and we're not going to continue to argue our point, because we don't care. The
Yeah.
truth is going to be the truth, not your truth, not my truth, the truth. You know what I mean?
Good.
Adults act like this. They have it on camera. We don't have to act like they don't. If adults don't stop acting like this, children are going to continue to think that it's okay to act like this, and we're going to
Mm-hmm.
continuously be divided. One last thing I wanted to say was, though, that it seems to be the beat of the drum heavy right now is like they trying to stir up conflict between the races. And that's why we have to report it this way, man, because we're not falling for that, bro. It's not going to do us no good if the system
Mm-hmm.
is still screwing both sides, but it stirs the pot and it puts these stories to the front and keep pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. And we just said that everybody's not in their right mind. Everybody already don't have control of their emotions and their actions and their and they don't have self control. Then this is what they trying to push. This is just my theory. This is what I'm seeing, and I'm not falling for it. You know what I mean? There's right and wrong. There's no
Good.
denying what color my skin is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no denying the way people look at me. But we have to combat the way people are with the way you are, the energy you carry, the energy you put out, how you think. You have to combat that, and that's what's going to be your best shield in this world. That's what's going to give you the invisible armor. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I just said, we are moving at energy. So if you got that good energy and you working on yourself, and if you reading and your intent and your heart and you trying, then it's gonna come back to you. Stay there.
Yes.
Don't fall for these illegitimate, unnecessary arguments, fights, road rage. That could be the end, because somebody else is not level headed as you for that split second. So this is a clear sign. This somebody don't even care about children, and they're on a bus, and everything is recorded. So be mindful, man. Be very mindful. Okay. Now moving forward, we always come to a break in the show where we want to continue to encourage you to be the best you that you can be, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. You got to eat right. You got to get you some rest. You got to meditate, work out. You know what I mean? What you don't use, you will lose. You know what I mean? And a lot of our gripes, a lot of our ailments, a lot of our functionality, can be fixed by just moving, going for the walk, taking that walk, working out, doing some jumping jacks, touching your toes, stretching. Be mindful of that. Also be mindful that the suicide hotline and emergency number is 988. Call it or text it. Please don't hesitate. If you need the help, get it. It's anonymous, or you can let it be known who you are, but you can definitely get that help that you need, and then let it grow from there. You know what I'm saying? Let it grow from there. But your mental health and you yourself, you matter. No matter what capacity and what level you are on right now, you do matter, but you have to matter to yourself for other people to care. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? We have an event coming up, so we're going to show this commercial, and we'll be right back. Hey, man, what's up? Top of the afternoon to all my So Focused family, friends, and all of my Spartan alumni, new and old. It's been a minute, man, but we're back, and we've got a whole lot to celebrate. The All White is making its grand return for its 20-year anniversary, and trust us, we got a venue that's pretty much bigger than ever. We're not just bringing the tradition back and restoring the legacy, we're elevating it. This year, it's more about the party, the legacy, giving back, and celebrating greatness. We're honoring you and our brothers, Kevin Talley and Terrell Whitehead, for their induction into the Spartan Football Hall of Fame, launching scholarships for future Spartans, and we'll be supporting the Green Run High School football team. Oh, and did we mention, I'm in full character because we've got a dope comic book series tied into this event. The storytelling, the energy, the memories, the impact, it's all coming together. We're bringing it back home to Norfolk, where it all started. It's going down Labor Day weekend, so that's your answer. Sunday, August 31st, 2025. Mark your calendars. Go ahead and get the shopping. Go ahead and spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because this is an invite-only event. So be on the lookout for that exclusive link to get yours. Stay locked in. That's right, man. TheAllWhite.com. Get your tickets. You know what I'm saying? Now, moving forward, we got our last story of the day. You want to jump into it?
Yes, sir. A viral video shows officer body slams teen girl during arrest in Southern California. San Bernardino police responded to a grocery store in the 500 block of the West 2nd Street for a call about someone trespassing and attempting to fight. When officers arrived, they took the 17-year-old into custody. Let's watch this video, and then we'll hit you with how we feel about it when we come back.
A 17-year-old girl speaking out tonight after she was slammed to the ground by a San Bernardino police officer, and it was all caught on video. As Eyewitness News reporter Ashley Mackey tells us, the teen and her mother are now calling for an investigation.
I just want justice for my baby. She didn't do anything.
A family is demanding justice after 17-year-old Erin was thrown to the ground, causing several injuries.
I'm just in a lot of pain. I'm hurt everywhere. My head, my whole body. I'm not the same person I was.
On May 21st at about 2 in the afternoon, San Bernardino police responded to a grocery store to a call for trespassing and attempting to fight. Police arrived and took Erin into custody. You can see an officer holding her. And then this. An officer body slams her to the ground.
I just want justice. That's it. She didn't deserve nothing that she had happened to her. I'll let her tell you guys more, or if she chooses to. I'll be taking her to the hospital again today. She's still complaining about her face hurting, her head hurting, her wrist hurting, her legs hurt, her back hurt. Let's just get justice for my baby.
I'm not okay, because that grown man knocked my baby out cold. You could see the blood by the police car where she bust her chin open. It's not okay. She's a baby. She's a baby. It's not okay.
San Bernardino police say at the time of the physical encounter, the officer was attempting to place Erin in handcuffs. Officials say the officer was only able to place one of her hands in cuffs when she began actively pulling away and attempting to walk off, warranting the takedown maneuver. In a news release, San Bernardino police say the San Bernardino Police Department is committed to impartial and accountable policing. Use of force is applied based on behavior, not on age, gender, or race.
Yeah, so it's just I really don't know what happened prior towards the police getting there, so I'm pretty sure I can't say that she wasn't acting out or doing whatever they were saying, because it's the reason why they was called. But the level of aggression, she was defenseless, and I don't think it's right to slam no age, no person, period, in that manner when you're defensive. It don't look like she was being aggressive. Maybe not listening, cool. As far as not listening, probably trying to walk off, cool. I've seen that several times, but to use that level of aggression on a kid, you know that's you're over 100 more plus pounds than her. It just was disgusting. It always gives you the stigma of the reason why people had that stigma against the police. They don't like. I see why now in videos like this. Now, how I feel about the parents. She's 17. She's a baby. How you saying all that sympathy and she's a baby and she's this and she's that. She didn't deserve this and she didn't. Why wasn't you there with her? Well, why was she up there anyway by herself if she's such a baby? So it's all these questions I have on that. But yeah, to use that level of aggression and in that manner towards that child, that was crazy. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, it looked like you said, for one, number one, I mean, that just looked like straight BS. We had some people in the comments. Dante DK said the same thing. He said that's some straight BS, superheated. Monique say, Granny saying she's a baby. They ain't have to do that to her. The cuff on the other hand, yeah, so she had cuffs. Zoe said happy Sunday. She had handcuffs on, you know what I mean? Like you said, she was definitely less than 100 pounds. I mean, more than 100 pounds lighter than him.
Absolutely.
This is those cases where you gotta have those conversations with your child prior to police interaction. Then two, it says that that somebody had called about someone trespassing and attempting to fight. So if they were meeting up to fight, that's already an issue. You know what I'm saying? Where we gotta talk to these children. I always see it. This is definitely not cool. So let me say first and foremost that you want to get the individual badge numbers, sue the individual, sue the precinct, but that's going to be taxpayers' dollars. Everybody individually sue them. You know what I mean? And get you a good lawyer, because definitely this is against the law. This is not how you operate when you doing your job. And if they have their police cameras on and stuff, it should be able to show it. Two, this is where we got to police our community. You know what I mean? This is where the Panthers were, head on, where they were right about defense in the community, policing the community, having our gun licenses and our guns, and being mobilized and being organized to where you have to get your respect. They wouldn't do that to a Jewish kid. They wouldn't do that to a Chinese kid. They wouldn't do that to a Caucasian kid. But their communities garner some type of respect, you know what I mean, from the system. Until we show the system that we're not going for that, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's going to constantly keep happening. And then their defense is going to be, man, y'all were doing this or you were doing something bad. Two wrongs don't make it right. You know what I mean? So let's not give them any firepower to do anything to us, because that resisting arrest stuff is, see, I say that all the time. Any interaction, you can say what you want about me with the police, but if I know I didn't do nothing and you need to detain me, whatever, here we go. Let's go through it. Let's just do it. Do whatever you're gonna do, because I knew my rights. I
Yeah.
told you before, and I ain't have to do this, that, and the third. But if this is what you want to do, here, because my goal is to get home. My goal is not do the right or wrong thing right now. Again, we just said that majority of the people in this country eat the same diet. You think because he got the title of cop or police officer or sheriff, and you got the title of student, or she got the title of nail tech, that y'all not eating the same Wendy's, McDonald's, same BS from the same stuff. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So why would you want to put your life in the hands of somebody who's not mentally there, emotionally there? Like, these children got to realize too, like you said, these parents and these children got to realize you're not a baby. 17 is not a
Yeah.
baby. It's only a baby
Not
to somebody who has empathy for you, for somebody who cares for you. These people don't care for you. You 1 year or 6 months or 8 months from being charged as an adult. Okay? That's
Yeah.
how they look at you. They look at you like some little nigga. Not to be funny, she looks like a little boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that don't make it, again, we're not doing right or wrong. We're doing the world that we live in. You know what I mean? When it come to right or wrong, she's right in this instance. Do what you're supposed to do. If you're right, go get you the lawyers, go do all the stuff that you're supposed to do, because you're garnered the right to do that. But at the same
Correct.
time, we got to do better at interaction with police, and we have to know the
Okay.
law. If you know the law, then you can operate accordingly. Now, when you know the law, be prepared for them to be even more pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like you being a smart ass. That's how they feel. So if you know somebody's abusing their power, go in it proactive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to be smart.
Interview all it.
Try to have this encounter to be as fast as possible. And if you can, stay out of fights, violence,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Because one thing, you went out there for one fight with somebody who probably looked like you, it turned into a whole different thing. And now you're going to be fighting for justice, in which,
Yeah.
they don't want to give it to you. I just wish, after I asked, there's nothing that an adult can really say to me anymore. I asked a group of young men. I asked them, how much are you worth? They said it. Nobody knew but one person how much they were worth. I can guarantee you that is the resemblance and the mirrored answer amongst the youth across the United States. I can guarantee you. And
Yeah.
her only thing different going on in her world and what's going on over here is the zip code, is the temperature. They just in a different place. San Bernardino, that's not too far from LA. You know what I mean? So we've heard stories about the LAPD. We've heard stories about the NYPD. We've heard stories about, Washington, everybody, just police in general. But each encounter, it does depend on you too. They just said it.
Yeah.
They're going to use that. You walking away, you fighting with them. The one word they're going to use is you're resisting. You're resisting. You're resisting either arrest or you're resisting detainment. So you have to,
So now following that
like
doctor.
DJ said, discipline is key. Like, that's my thing. Making it
Yeah.
home. You want to be right, and you can be right and dead.
Yeah.
You was right.
All you just if you know you right, like just follow the
You got
protocol.
it.
It's about to be something. So if you right, you
Yeah,
right.
that's what we got to start teaching.
Because it's going
Most
to
of the time,
prevent
we
you
don't
from
start teaching that.
right. And it's in clear day. Like every day on social media, you see it. So what's stopping you? That's what leads to me in this situation. As yes, I totally don't agree with their aggression of what they did to that child, but that's not just like we say, bro. That's not a baby. Oh, she was a baby because you're defending her, but she's not a baby when she's talking back to you.
Right,
She's
right,
not a baby when she's out and she's supposed to be in school.
right.
She's not a baby. See what I'm saying? So it's like it be going up and down with me. But
That's
like
why
we say
proper
all the time,
protocol,
right is right, wrong is wrong. It's no in
proper
between. Like
protocol.
proper
Only thing you
protocol,
can
follow
fix this is
and command.
how you
Be
carry it in
smart.
your household. If your
Facts.
child saying fuck 12 and you sitting there laughing with them and you saying it, I can
But then when
guarantee you,
12 slam her ass,
yeah. But
then she's a
even
baby.
before that, and even before that, before the slam and all that, we don't know. That's why all I ever ask, I ain't got no picks no more. Show me the
Right.
camera work. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Because somebody spit on, I done seen it all. I seen a little boy in DC in a pamper say, "Get the fuck out of here, F you," to the police.
Yeah.
Like, he was in a
Yeah.
pamper.
Yeah.
So I'm not, like I said, two wrongs don't make it right. So,
Right.
like we did with the young man, Carmelo Anthony, he knew something was happening before. You know what I mean? Every story from here on out, I got to see the beforehand. Just from that story alone, lawyer up, sue them, but make sure you sue the individual so he can get out of that precinct. Because if you just sue the precinct, they don't have no problem with settling because it's just taxpayers' dollars. So you literally just gonna get a check. But if you hit him as an individual, and every officer can get the badge numbers and do that and get you a great lawyer, you know what I mean? And you will get that part. The other
Yeah.
part is we're gonna have to, as people, brown, so-called black, you know what I'm saying, the people that's so-called minority, if we don't get smarter with our emotional intelligence and our self-control, it's only right to your homies and to our community. It's wrong
Mm-hmm.
everywhere else. So when you go back and you laugh in it, man, I told that mother suck my ooh. It's a human being who also doesn't have no emotional control and no emotional intelligence. You just insulted them. You embarrassed them. You're making me feel bad. We have to have the proper protocol in the household before we even get in these. Look, if something happened, call my phone. We'll give up your ID or whatever. If they say da 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 da, that's it. Leave it there. You got the right to remain silent until you get a lawyer. I'm your lawyer. Call me. From that
Yeah.
phone call, I'll call your lawyer. But most parents don't. They're not proactive parenting. They reacting because they don't have enough time to parent. They
Yeah.
don't. They at work. Your kids know your schedule better than anybody because they know the little pits and points where I can skate off a little bit. I can go see my girlfriend real quick. Go hang out with the homeboys. Like 35 minutes. I can get it off real quick. My mom ain't gonna be home till 8. Dad ain't there. Blah, 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 blah. You have to have realistic conversation with your children and stop treating them as babies. They may be your baby, but when they step out that door, they are a target. They're getting treated like an adult. However they carry themselves. If they carry themselves like an animal, they're getting treated like an animal. If they don't have no respect. And this is what I'm saying. I'm not just saying this in regards to her situation. I'm saying this in regards to how the world looks at your child. If your child hanging around what looks like the suspects, then they have to do better with their actions to prove that they're not that. You can dress and look however you want, but your actions are going to determine how people are going to treat you. You know what I'm saying? So don't be there meeting up for no fight. Stay out of the trouble, man. Stay out of the trouble. Teach your children to be proactive in those situations, but teach your children the value of their life. You know what I'm saying? What if you get hit, fall before police even come? What if you get hit in the temple? What if you get hit, fall, and hit the curb? You know what I'm saying? What if you hit somebody and you take their life? You was going there for a fight. Now you're a murderer. Like, make better decisions. Better examples lead to better decisions. So that's what I got, man. Other than that, please, when I pray she gets proper justice and that dude get fired and whoever else co-signing it get fired. But let's not act like we're not in the U.S. and this is what they do. You know what I mean? So until our community comes together and we say we're not going from this from our own people or from your people, we're not going for this no more. But we not standing up for no ignorance either. So the cop can't be no bitch. The cop can't be no f nigga. The cop can't be. You cannot disrespect nobody and then expect us to have your back and there's no gonna be no repercussions. Like we can't. It's unnecessary. Stop throwing grenades. You know what I'm saying? When it's not even warranted. You know what I mean? You blowing up the whole situation and you didn't even need to pull out a weapon. You could have just kept it going. Like, man, y'all want me to go there and meet up and fight? Y'all not my friends. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You're not my friend, especially nowadays. So then what if you win the fight and then the person come back with a gun? That's just that if you're not smart and you don't value your life, then you're going to piss it off and you're going to let other people piss your life away. You're going to let the pressure of what other people say that they would do, because nobody really knows what they would do until they're in the situation anyway. So they're going to coach you to throw your life away or put you in some messed up situations. And now look, You got to wear the scars. You got to wear the PTSD. You got to wear the fear or the anger. Now she definitely has anger. She gonna feel that way about every cop. You know what I'm saying? She also gonna have some type of fear. She also gonna have some type of PTSD. She also, you just never know. Every time you see sirens, every time you hear them, you just don't know, jumping up. Let's avoid that. You know what I mean? Some of this stuff can be avoided. So that's my best advice. My best advice is to always try to avoid it. Keep that drama out of your life, bro, so you don't have to deal with it, because once it's up, and nobody has control over how it goes. You're not gonna always get the best of everybody.
Yeah, man. That's totally right, man. It's like you always say, man. We ain't gonna be the judge of it. We can't. You can't. We ain't got to answer to us, man. It's always karma and the way of the world.
Mhm.
What you put out is what you get. You know. Anything else you want to touch on though today?
Nah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Just from, constantly these stories and the things that are going on just around us, period. It's just constant. That's why I'm here. That's why I chose the lifestyle I chose, and chose to do the work on myself first, because I'm trying my best to be an example for other people to get on your thing, whatever your mission
Yes,
is, whatever your program is, whatever your routine is. We don't need to continue to look outside for leaders. You know what I mean? That
yes,
is our
sir.
problem. We don't need a multitude of saviors. You have to believe. You know what I'm saying? You have to have faith in your own self. You know what I'm saying? You have to cut ties with the BS. You know what I'm saying? People, you want to fly, so cut ties with the shit that's weighing you down.
Yes,
If
sir.
not that, we will continue to get the results that we're getting. And again, I'm gonna continuously say this: I'm over the adults. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why I'm over the adults is they won't even admit what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Or take no responsibility in what's going on. Les Brown could say it. He say, "You want to know if you want to know if you're doing a great job. If you want to know how well adults are doing, then look at the children." You know what I'm saying? And if we got all these epidemics and we got all these genocidal things happening at the hands of ourselves, we can't control police. You know what I'm saying? As an individual, you can't control the government as an individual. So all the things that are attacking us, it's hard to do something about when you're an individual. You know what I'm saying? But together
Mhm.
you can. So if you're not willing, again, to come together, if you're not willing to fix things, then we're going to continue to see our children be molested, have their sex changed, be able to say they're a dog, a cat, a turtle. You know what I mean? And it's everything against the Most High. So the devil will continue to win, or low vibrations will continue to win until we raise it as adults. You know what I mean? You got to go to that mirror and raise your frequency and do the work. Do the work.
Yes, sir, man. He couldn't say it no better, man. So, with that being said, man, this is the Leaders Only digital show and podcast live streaming every Sunday at 2. We appreciate you joining us for season 5, episode 30, man. We hope that you enjoyed and love and appreciate the show. Look forward to seeing you next week, man. If you got anything that you want to input, any interest in anything, man, just tap in. We are brought to you by What a Change Mentoring Inc. and Tone Drone TV. I am your host, Kendall.
And I am Samaj.
And we always ask that you like, share, comment, subscribe, touch that bell for us, man. Email us, man, with your thoughts at leadersonly22 at gmail.com. You also, man, we just ask that you just continue to support us, man. We appreciate everybody that's in the comments on the live chat. Zoe, we love you, brother. Mr. Dante. We just appreciate everybody, man. We've been doing this for a little second now. We seeing our growth, man. I enjoy doing this every Sunday with Big Bro. I couldn't say it no more, man, that he's highly respected by me. I love you, man. I continue to say it every time. You're a legend in your own, man. You will never know because you're generous, you're genuine, and you don't do it just for sport, man. You do it just wholeheartedly, man. We appreciate you, dog. The mental health shelf itself. But I'm Kendall, man, and Bro, you got anything you say before we go ahead and roll this out?
No, man, I love you too. And I appreciate you for that. And I just pray people, just take the information and use it. You know,
Sir.
don't a lot of times our people think you attacking them when you bring them, knowledge or you bring them truth. But just realize that anything I'm bringing to you, first of all, it was on my heart to bring it. But second, I had to go through it myself. You know what I mean? I had to go through it. I come from all the same backgrounds and all the stuff that they say we couldn't do and we're not supposed to do, and any excuse that you can find. I had the right to use it too. But the children deserve, the people that when we pass away, the people that tell a story about our lives deserve to say, look, he came from same stuff, woo, woo, but he was not no complainer. He was not one that gave up or quit on life. Like, he thought he could win. He knew he could win. He believed he could win. So he went out there every day and he won. You know what I'm saying? However big, sometimes the wins are blowout. Sometimes it's a nail biter, but we gonna win. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
that's just
sir.
that. So
Yes, sir.
believe in yourself.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate that, man. And with love, man, we appreciate y'all every Sunday, man. Until next week, we love, bless, peace.